Hey smokers, Drug1 here. Today we're going to be moving on to the next installment in our frankly ancient series, the Power Mac G4 Adventures. Today we're going to be consolidating our hardware down from 3 machines here into just one. Now, as you may immediately notice, one of the machines is not a Power Mac G4. That's right. Our Power Mac G3 here, the G3 blue and white, the white portion mostly exempted here, has failed. I'm assuming that I fried it by accidentally using an S-video cable instead of an Apple desktop bus cable. I can't remember whether or not that's what caused it, but I very well could have done that. So, full disclosure, that's probably what happened. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking the hardware, whether that's the PCI cards from the G4 in the middle, and taking the solid state drive or the compact flash drive from the G3, and putting it all into the Power Mac G4 you haven't quite seen yet. Over on the left there, that is a mirror drive door, the final Power Mac G4 that was ever produced. I don't know if it's the fastest or the highest spec, but it was the last of the Power Mac G4s. So let's get started by taking a look at what's inside the G3 case. Now, maybe you could say that I haven't exactly been treating the old girl well, given my previous mistreatment of the machine. But, yeah, I didn't... That remains the best way to open it. Now, if you'll remember, the most important part of this whole equation was the Rage 128. You can see the little logo right there. That was used to, quote, run Quake 1 at 60 FPS. That was one of the promises of Steve Jobs in his Power Macintosh G3 blue and white keynote.
The Rage Pro gets 36 frames per second on Quake. The Voodoo 2 card, enabled Pentium 2 450, gets 50 frames per second. And the Rage 128 tops them at 68 frames per second, built into every new Power Mac G3.
And yes, it does actually do that. But we're not going to be able to use this graphics card anymore because we're going to have to be using something a bit better in one of our other Power Macintoshes. So, well, the one in the mirror drive door. So we're not going to be able to pull that out. Some of the other things that are in here are like SCSI cards, stuff we're just not going to have room for. So the most important part of this setup has been the SD card adapter, which has held up pretty well. So 4 gigs right there. It's powered by floppy power. So we'll undo this. Now again, this will turn on, but it will not give us anything and power right back off. So that's what we're going to take from this machine. And just in case, I'll go ahead and take the Rage 128, just in case I can use it for something else. The rest of the stuff, Oh, fuck. Now here's the machine where I'm no doubt going to have to make some compromises. The original Power Macintosh G4. As you can see, it still has our G3 front housing, because I had 2 Power Macintosh G3s. Unfortunately, now they're both dead. There we are. Now, there's a lot of stuff here this time. And really, it's just a bunch of PCI cards. This is our video card. We probably won't need that. That did not feel good. I don't remember what this is, but I'll refer to my past videos. This is what this card is. Now this is our Wi-Fi card here. Probably won't be getting any use out of it. But there you are. This right here is a apparently badass Firewire 800 card that actually requires Molex power. Has that kind of extended PCI stuff going on there. I'll never get to use that, pretty much. And then this is This is actually a SCSI thing we won't need to use. Now, one of the things I installed in this before was actually a USB 2.0 and Firewire 800. I stole that from my DV camcorder video so that I could hook up the camcorder to the Windows XP machine to import stuff using the PC DV thing. It was pretty cool. I really liked the setup, but it's still in that machine, and it actually did require floppy power, I think, and that's why I couldn't get it working. But yeah. Now, the other thing we're going to take out of this is the hard drive. Yeah, we want to keep the hard drive because this is both a bootable volume of macOS 10 and macOS 9. I think one of the problems we're going to run into, unfortunately, is going to be we're going to run out of hard disk spots, but I think we'll be able to do a slave with this IDE here. So, and then we could have both that and this in the same machine. That's the goal, anyway. The screw hole is hiding beneath the IDE cable. Might as well take the RAM just in case it happens to be the exact same type. I think this is 1.5 gigabytes. So 512, 512, and 512, I guess. I don't know. Now what about the zip drive? I'm going to wait for now. I'm not even sure we can install that in the guy over here, the mirror drive door, yet. So I'm going to leave this alone, close it up. So here is the mirror drive door Power Macintosh G4. As you can see, it does have some doors here. The CD drive should be in here. Got a headphone jack, and then I guess you can have another CD drive below it. Not really too friendly for zip disk drives. So, and the whole dilemma of the weird compatibility status of zip disk drives in general. Sometimes, like the 100s and the 200s don't go together. I never used zip disks, so it's sort of just there just to be there if I did have it installed. Since I installed the zip disk drive in the Power Macintosh G4, the other one that I just put away, that I never ever used that since I put it in. So that should give you a good idea what's going on. I remember some guy actually said he would give me a whole box of zip disks. I don't think I took him up on that offer. I just had no reason to use them right now. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what we're dealing with here. On the back here, it does clearly say Power Mac G4 on there, with the two USB, I assume 2.0, two Firewire 400, Ethernet probably 10100, modem, line in, headphone, and the powered speaker. I guess if you wanted to use the iMac G4 speakers, you probably could plug them in there. Kensington and the actual slots themselves have this cool sort of graded pattern for the unused slots, and this is for locking your door if you want. You can put a padlock there, and then of course power supply, all that. Alright, so here's what we're dealing with. Yes, I know I shouldn't put this on carpet. I've heard the story before. Oh, maybe these, I don't know. Not actually that much going to be migrating its way over. We have the stuff from the G4 and the stuff from the G3. So, not bad. Now, let's, I guess, go ahead and put it in. I think the most troubling thing is going to be this. And these jumpers will probably allow me to put it into a slave state or a master state. Doesn't really tell me anything. Whatever. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, sweet Jesus! Yeah, so it looks like this has a much different configuration. That is actually closer to that of the Power Mac G5 than it is to the other way. Because you have now the PCI slots here instead of over here. And since they had to crank up the latest G4, this had to get even bigger. And when it folds back in, this is actually our primary fan for the CPU. Folds back over it, and you're good. So this is a very crucial fan. Now, it's kind of strange that the pathway of the air comes from the back through the fan, and then it cools the hard disk bays and goes out the front. Or is it the other way around? It's out the other way around. I'm stupid. Front is always intake. Comes in through those 1, 2, 3, 4 holes on the front, and then goes through the hard disk bays, which usually aren't that hot, and then go through here and out. I know what I'm talking about. And it looks like these are specifically meant for 2 CD drives, which is not a big deal. If we really wanted to, we could put some more stuff in there. Here we do have multiple bays here for hard disk, 2 hard disks, so that's fine. We're going to just be removing this one, actually, and just put in the other one because we don't have enough IDE. Or do we? Do we have enough IDE on the board here? I don't know. I think we might. Hold on. We have... No, we just have 2 IDE slots on the board. What the hell is this? Is the power supply. Interesting little thing there for the power supply. And this is my first time actually seeing the inside of a mirror drive door G4, actually. It's interesting. Not quite as elegant as the G5 and even less than the Mac Pro, but they were definitely going in that direction, you could tell. This is just this crazy fortress of a housing for the fucking optical drives. Like, you're losing so much internal case space just because you might want that extra drive, which, you know, that's fine. This upper part is totally open to accommodate the PCI slots. I have no idea what the video card is, but we'll find out soon enough. So I guess we can get started in installing this guy? Can we even use this guy? Hold on. This is as far as the nearest Molex will reach. Even if I had it on the bottom one, that's not really going to work out, is it? Maybe we don't need that much Firewire 800. I could get an extension cable. I think I have one somewhere. Okay, so I have 2 choices for Molex cable extension. I have one that's this long, which would actually get the job done, and I think I'll just do that. The other option was a splitter, and I probably want to hang on to that. This one looks like it was a breakout cable just for a fan. Because you got this other shit here. I guess if I wanted to add another fan inside the case, I could. Not going to do that, though. Ooh. Now, I think this already has a Wi-Fi something or other right here. I just don't have the antenna, I guess? I don't know. Or wait, is this where the Wi-Fi card goes? I think, yeah, because that's the port for it there. I do have an airport. Actually, I do have an airport that would fit in there. I just don't know where the internal antennas run. I guess they run throughout the case. What the fuck? There we go. Ooh. Ooh, there we go. Push that in a little hard. I think I may have actually damaged the PCB. May have bent up it did bend up a little bit there. A little loose currently, so I think we'll be okay. Okay, that actually worked. Don't know if it's going to block the fan up here. We'll have to see when we close it. These cables will have to be properly insulated. Forgot to mention here that the RAM slots are actually hiding here. You can barely tell that they're there because it's hiding behind the video card. If these are all 512 sticks, well, it's a totally different kind of RAM in there, so I'll have to track down what the right kind of RAM is. Not going to be able to reuse the RAM this time, so let's just keep putting the PCI cards in. Should I put in the airport card or figure out if I have a card to go there? This would probably be better. Okay, so this is the airport card that I assume is supposed to plug in here. That's where the plug goes. Looks like it would line up. And it would fit? No. Maybe if this thing bent back all the way. I don't think so. I mean, it looks like it would fit if I tore this whole thing off. I think this is for an iMac. Probably I mean, it has the card is actually older than the computer, so is it a little bit? Yeah, or I'd have to look it up. So that's not going to work. Well, I guess in with the airport card, I'm not going to use. I'm not sure if having a lot of PCI cards would actually slow down other cards on the bus. I suppose it's possible. I would be getting less video card performance out of this guy. So it looks like we have our work cut out for us already. It's already been unscrewed here or something. I think this whole housing is supposed to come out, but screw having to unscrew that. Well, in the meantime, let's figure out just what we're losing if we do remove this. 320 gigs? Damn. And I'm going to be replacing that with a 30 gig? Oh, this is criminal. And then I'm going to have a 4 gig. That would mean I'd have to remove this entire housing just so I can fit in this newer drive. Maybe, just maybe, we'll think about that one. So I'm going to assume this is set to master. I'm going to pray that's set to master, and then I'll set this to slave. Okay, so I have the jumper settings on this set to what I assume are the correct ones. We'll go ahead and put that in there. This might not work. It's not even mandatory that we have that, even. Let's go ahead and plug it in. It's the second cable on the chain here, or second thingy on the chain of IDE. We'll plug in this here, I guess. The problem's going to be that we now don't have any slack here to plug this in, but it doesn't matter because we have this long-ass cable. I guess that's in. And then, this is kind of weird. I'll just put this here because it's technically connecting like this. If you're wondering what the piece of cardboard is, it's insulation. Somebody did mention that, so I'll have to retape it. So yeah, that is technically connected there, and that is hooked up. But it is going to get jammed if we try to close the case. So we'll have to somehow... Actually, I might want to unplug that again. Put it in here, like so. Oh yeah, this is coming together a little bit. And then, like that. And then, I don't know to what extent that can be safely shoved inside before the other parts of the case start to touch it. I don't know if this cardboard is interfering. Let me get rid of it real quick. Okay, so it's in there. There we go. Card's in there to keep it from shorting. I don't even know if this is going to go together right, guys. Okay. I could install another video card. That'd be cool. But let's just keep it simple for now. Okay, now I think we have everything good. Put that over there for now. Let's see if this will close. Yeah, I think the Molex power things are actually getting in the way enough to be a problem. Let's see if we can shove this in there a bit off to the side. So we're probably good right there. This is within specification. This is not. This, there's not enough room for that. Oh, and it's ripping the Molex power part off of the Firewire 800 card, so that might not actually work once I start this up. Yeah, there's just no room for this. Well, we might be able to make room if we use this. I've almost destroyed the Molex on the 800 card. I'm hoping it can hold up. Seems like there's actually a little bit of scorching or something on this. Okay, so we have a lot more slack now. I can plug this in here. Okay. That's going to go in there. That's going to go in there. Still, we're yanking on the thing here. So let's try and see if we can... Okay, those are going in. We may have just ripped out the Molex power on the Firewire 800. But it got in there. Hopefully I don't have to open this thing again. Okay, so that can go like that. This one requires DVI. Now this might not start up at all. So we might just get a folder icon. The fuck? There we go. Okay. Now, I didn't have the proper mic to pick that up, but it was a very strong chime. Much stronger than you ever heard on the G5. There. Oh, okay. Well, let's see if it can do anything. No? Nothing, huh? Okay, so I guess that means I have to unplug the 30 gig drive and just use the SSD, I guess. Jesus shit, I was afraid of this. Yeah, we're gonna have to leave that in there without Molex and just pray. Ah, crap. Oh man, I've jammed something in there, something good. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Okay, so this is our guy right here. Unplug in. Oh, there we go. Now this guy has a whole lot more wiggle room. We can leave all that plugged in because that's not actually going to be a problem. At least I don't think. That should just sit fine right there. These... Wait a minute, where'd this come from? What are these? What is this for? Oh my god, this is a secondary hard disk bay over here. This is 1, this is 2 over here. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter where I put it at this point, but... Fine, keep it there. I didn't even think about that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Actually, if that's the case, then maybe, instead of doing some weird slave shit over here, I'll just move the bottom one out and put it over there, I guess. There, it's insulated, okay? Jeez. So, stupidly, these are actually for the drives that go over here. How do you make them fit? It's a good question. So, this is kind of flexible. There appear to be screws. I see it. I couldn't see this from my angle. Still doesn't move. What the? Does it lift? Oh, well, I guess I got it. So this was the mechanism. It was in there like that. This pulled up, and then I don't know really which direction it... Ah, it did lift up. Okay. So, alright. So this would go in like that. So this, going like that. Has some spare screws on the side, I'll just have to reuse those. So really this is set up so you could have 4 hard disks, and it was actually, which is actually better than the PowerMac G5, which only allows for 2. But the reason why they cut back is because when they went to the G5, it had a totally different thermal profile, or basically the G5 kicked off a lot more heat. So they had to compensate and get more thermal room. They praised the design of the thermal flow through the G5 case, but was it actually a smoke screen that they actually needed to sacrifice some of the space for some extra expandability for more airflow, while at the same time praising all of the cool space age airflow technology, which could have been, again, a smokescreen, a distraction from the fact that they had to sacrifice more space in the case. And they increased the space of this case. It was actually a bigger computer even. There was even more room in here. And still, they only managed to get 2 drives in. Now, they solved that problem once they switched to Intel and you had the 4 bays across the top, but maybe that was actually smokescreen. I mean, they needed to. It's really good that they're improving on technology and all that, but I think they may have been pulling the wool over our eyes a little bit. I don't really care about screwing this back in. It's just a pain in the ass. Oh, man. Okay. So this... I will say, the G5 did make it easier to put your cables in and all that, especially since it was SATA. Okay. Ah, and it locks in place. I don't know if you heard that, but hey, not bad. So, I just realized that that drive is no longer set to master. Ah, fuck. Well, let's see if I can easily get it back out. Pulled the thing. Oh, lost it again. Okay, well that came out really easy. Okay, I re-jumpered it. It's actually a pretty solid design as long as you get the all 3 points in. Oh, it's not moving. I didn't hear the snap, but that is actually in there solidly. Sorry for the lack of lighting in there. Okay, so finally, we've got 2 master drives. Should be fine because they're on totally different. I totally missed the other IDE port over there because the big heatsink distracted me, and I don't know why I didn't notice that, but whatever. This should just close perfect now. It did. Alright, let's try it again. It does turn off again, sort of similar to the G5, but it does chime. And then it comes back. Doing a little bit of blinking there, I don't know why. Oh, it's actually blinking on the camera only. It has the button has a refresh rate. And now we're actually booting to 9.1. This should be the one that, yep, it is. Okay, so this is actually our SSD, our SD card starting up right now. So we actually have the El Capitan background there. I wanted to show you guys that like a million videos ago, but our G3 died right after I set it up, so I couldn't actually show it off. That was actually back when El Capitan was the main OS. Times have changed a bit. So if we look at the about this computer, we have 768 megabytes of RAM. You can't see that. And if we open Mac SSD, we have some shit on there, and it says 2.67 gigs available. So yeah, this is pretty nice. I really like this actually. So let's take a look at our system profiler. Somehow we're getting this all on screen, and I'm not sure how, but okay. So Finder 9.1.1. I think there's macOS 9.2 now, and there is a sort of a final awesome version of macOS 9 that I have not used yet. So virtual memory, blah blah blah, machine ID, PowerMac 3.6 for those of you who are curious as to exactly what model this is. Machine speed, this is 1.2 gigahertz. Processor is an unknown type. I guess that type would come in if we had a more recent version of OS 9. machine ID 406. Keyboard type Apple standard keyboard. We have no keyboard plugged in. That is bizarre. Apple Talk, Ethernet. I could plug in an Ethernet if I wanted to. Some other shit is down there. We don't really need devices and volumes. Yeah, one thing to notice, it didn't actually mount the other drive that I went through the trouble to plug in the back. So we're not actually going to be booting up at this point to the G4's drive. I'll have to figure that out a little bit later. But we'll just go over this. System folders. Yada yada. So yeah, we got a 256 stick and a 512 stick in there. So that's pretty good, I guess. I would prefer more. I'll have to go find the RAM. Not a big deal right now. But this will sort of work as our more solid machine here. So let's open this again. And we got Quake in here. Now, we have Quake and Quake Rave. I don't know if Rave works on something that's not the ATI. I don't know if we have. Do we have an ATI card in here? Is it even going to tell us? I don't even think it's going to tell us. Devices. Oh, here we go. Display card. ATY. It says we got a Firewire card in there. And we have a PCI something or other, but it's not recognized because it's Wi-Fi. And I don't think we have airport installed or something. Mouse, Firewire, blah, blah, blah. Hard drive. Let's see. Do we see another drive in there? No. Okay. So it says it's an ATI, I guess. Phoenix something. It's not going to tell me. Probably have to update my OS. So let's see what happens when I click on this. Probably going to need the CD. I do have the CD. Yeah. So, well, we can't use Rave unless we were to install the ATI Rage 128, which I could, and then switch it over to that being the main monitor, and then we're good. But let's see if we can just launch the regular Quake. Shit. Looks like we're a little worse off here. I might need to reinstall this. How about KidPix? Will that work? Oh, well, that works. Shit. Okay. Alright, well, something worked. So yeah, I'll tweak with it a little bit more. See if I can get some other stuff working. See if I can get that other drive recognized. I don't know why it's giving me hassle, but might have something to do with the jumper settings. I don't know. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. Let's see if I can change this shutter speed. So this is no longer flickering now. Okay. Change the shutter speed. That's 100. That's 160, which honestly I should have been shooting at already. Man, I'm stupid. I still don't know how to work this damn camera. So yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed me messing around with the PowerMac G4s again. I know this installment in the series has been a long time coming. A lot of you guys wanted me to explore the G4s yet again. But yeah. Here we are, and in hopefully another episode someday, we'll get more in depth with this to see just what this baby can do, exactly what card is in it, upgrading the RAM, and maybe a couple other things. Stay tuned, and I will see you next time.